happy Saturday or whatever day it is that you're watching this. We've been doing a lot of yard work in our backyard this morning and it is about 1:30 now. We just took a break to go run some errands, eat lunch, and I'm about to make my famous chocolate chip cookies. I do follow the Joanna Gaines recipe, but I tweak it a little bit to make it my own. So that's what we're about to do. You're not gonna be able to see my face and see me do this. So I'm gonna start with the dry ingredients first, and I have all-purpose flour, and I'm going to do 2.5 cups. And we're gonna put the 2.5 cups in a separate bowl. That's 2 cups. It's 2.5. Next, we need to do the baking soda, which says it's 1 heaping tablespoon. 1 heaping teaspoon, not tablespoon, that would be gross. So about 1 heaping in there. Okay, and then we also need to do the salt, which it says 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. And if there's a little extra, it's all good. So 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. And then we will whisk it together. Whisk all of the dry ingredients together, and then it says set aside. That looks pretty good. Set that right there. And then it says in the stand mixer fitted with the paddle attachment. So I have 2 paddle attachments. I'm gonna choose the one with the rubber blade on the side. Cool. And then it says beat the butter and sugar on medium heat. And I have been leaving this butter out since last night, so it's at room temperature, which is perfect. And I'm gonna do a full stick, so 8 tablespoons. And these were split into half in the box. So it says unsalted. I like to use salted. Everybody does it a little different. I use salted butter. The recipe calls for unsalted at room temperature. And then it also says to put the sugar. So we have brown sugar. Normally, I make my own brown sugar. I did not feel like doing that today, so we have store-bought light brown sugar. I like dark brown sugar, but we're gonna use what we got. And this needs to be 2 cups packed. It says 2 cups packed tightly. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. The best way for me to do this is to go ahead and just pour this in my brown sugar container. Back up, y'all. If you hear me talking to somebody, it's my dogs. They are standing right underneath me, waiting for me to drop something. And this is not something that they can eat. Okay, we're gonna start with one of these packs. Get down, Wrangler. Okay, so 2 cups of packed brown sugar. pretty close. It's 1 cup. I'm gonna actually switch to this smaller. So this is a 1/2 cup right here, and we're just gonna do 2 of those. Okay, so that should be 2 cups, and I'm gonna turn this on. It says turn the mixer on high speed for a few seconds. Okay, no, it says on medium-high speed until light and fluffy, 2 to 3 minutes. Add the eggs and beat until blended. Add the vanilla, beat until blended. So we're gonna do this for a few minutes. Okay, that's blended pretty well, and then it says to add the eggs, which the recipe calls for 2 eggs. I add 3. And these are farm fresh eggs from my friend Christy over at the Brownie Family Farm. And because these are farm fresh eggs, I'm cracking them in a separate container to make sure that they're all good before I mix them up. And then we are going to turn this on again and blend that until it's mixed. For vanilla, and it says 1.5 teaspoons of pure vanilla. So 1 1/2. And I just have this Mexican vanilla cold press. My aunt got this for me. We're gonna blend this up. Y'all, it smells so good. And I do have my oven preheated to 350. Okay, so now it says turn the mixer off, add the flour to the bowl and mix, which I'm gonna lower it so I can add this in. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring this back up, and then it says mix on, we're just gonna start on medium and work our way up so flour doesn't go everywhere. There we go. awesome. I'm gonna go get a spatula. I'm gonna clean this paddle off. This is probably the fastest I've ever made these cookies because of this mixer that Kaysen's grandparents gave me. I do have a mixer. I had a KitchenAid mixer before that. I still do. I still have it. I'm going to keep both of them so I can use both of them. But I bought a paddle attachment for that mixer and it never fit. I don't know. Maybe it was because I bought it off Amazon. So now it says to add the chocolate chips and to blend it, but I'm going to try to scrape some of this off first before I add the chocolate chips. Got a little bit of cookie dough up here. Okay, now time to add the chocolate chips. I just have regular Nestle chocolate chips. I'm gonna eyeball it. I like a lot of chocolate chips. So I mean the recipe calls for 1.5 cups, but I don't even know how much I just put in. And I'm gonna do this on low first. Okay, that's mixed in pretty well. I think that we need more chocolate chips. Mix it a little bit more. Okay, and then we're gonna clean off this paddle. Now it says drop by large spoonfuls onto my pan. I need to get my pans out. Need this anymore. The recipe book. I don't know how I don't have this memorized by now. I've made these so much. Onto this silicone mat. Well, it's on my cookie sheet. And then I have it lined with the silicone mats. It's gonna be a big one. here is one tray done. And this recipe makes a bunch of cookies. I'm about to get my other tray, but I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven. This is a little bit of a smaller cookie tray, and I don't have any more of the silicone mats, so I'm gonna use some parchment paper so it doesn't stick, even though they say it's non-stick. And I'm just gonna use the parchment paper. So this is the second tray that's done, and then I'll get my third tray. So this is my stoneware tray, and I don't need to line it with anything, but I do need to remember to completely let them cool after they bake on here so that they don't stick to the bottom. And these actually take a little bit longer to bake all the way through on this stone. And they get a different texture and consistency. It's very interesting. And you don't want to crowd your pan or your tray too much so that the cookies they're less likely to melt and spread together. I'm just using this spatula to get all of the dough around the edges. Okay, so this is my third tray, and I'm going to move these. Look what goes there together. All right, there's a little bit of dough left in here. All right, and so I'm about to check on the first pan that's in the oven, and I will put these two in next. So this is the first pan. They're not done yet, but they are looking really good. Here's the third pan. Here's the second pan, and I'll put those in the oven next. Meanwhile, while we wait, I am going to make an iced coffee. Let's see. So I have my cute little cup, and I'm gonna get some soft ice. I got ice from Chick-fil-A not too long ago, and I love the soft ice. So that's what I'm gonna put in my coffee. Got my ice. I'm gonna put this back in the freezer. And I got the Busy organic medium roast unsweetened cold brew. So that's what we're gonna put in here. And then last night we made like butter beer, you know, dupes, and I have a little bit of the cream left over that we made. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of that. It has a little bit of butterscotch syrup in it. So the rest of this is gonna go back in the fridge. And although, you know, it's a lot of dairy and sugar, I just didn't want it to go to waste. I'm gonna stir this up and see how it tastes. I might need to add a little bit more coffee. It's very creamy right now. Yeah, I'll add a little bit more coffee. Just added like a touch more. And not that I need it, but we have this butterscotch syrup. It's like for ice cream toppings, and that's what we used with our butter beer little drinks last night. And I'm gonna drizzle a little bit on top of my iced coffee. I'm just gonna use a little teeny tiny teaspoon. And this is like a legit teaspoon, like 4 like cups of tea, not like a measuring spoon. All right, so I did a little bit of that in there. Stir it up. My little iced coffee. It's very good. I'm also about to take my supplements. This is the Heart and Soil Herb package. It's 100% grass-fed beef organs. This is going to sound weird and maybe gross, but you can't taste it. I have 6 caps once a day, and it's New Zealand grass-fed reproductive organs. It's beef organs, uterus, ovaries, fallopian tubes, liver, and kidney. And you can't taste it, but they actually, I mean, they're supposed to be helping me with my iron levels and stuff like that. So I'm going to take those, and I'm going to put these in the refrigerator. So I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I've been taking them for probably about a week now. Along with, let me show you. Sorry, my face is all up in the camera. I do this before, like in the morning or before I eat a lot of carbs. It's glucose bitters. It's an herbal vinegar infused with digestive bitters that help maintain blood sugar levels. And I took it this morning before we ate biscuits. It has gymnea leaf, bitter melon fruit, sweet orange peel, peppermint leaf, cinnamon bark, fenugreek seed, gentian root, bupellarum root, organic apple cider vinegar, and organic grain alcohol. And I get this from, I'm trying to see if the company's name's on here. Oh yeah, Organic Olivia. And then I've also been taking Golo. I read the ingredients and they're all very natural ingredients. Let me check on these cookies. Almost done. They spread a lot. Part of me wants to put one of these pans in the refrigerator to see if the cold will help. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the smallest one in the refrigerator for a few minutes. Maybe the cold will help it not spread so much in the oven. Okay, so the Golo also helps with blood sugar. I've been struggling with blood sugar, and I know I literally just put sugar in my coffee. Some days are good, some days are bad, y'all. But I try not to eat a lot of carbs or sugar. The last few days, I haven't been doing so great at it. Most days I eat very high protein, high healthy fats with some carbs, but mostly high protein. That's what I really try to stick to. But the Golo actually has magnesium, zinc, chromium, rhodiola extract, inositol, berbeine extract, gardenia extract, banaba extract, celeritin extract, and apple extract. So all of that is supposed to help with stress and insulin resistance. And I've already taken this one today. I took it when I took my glucose bitters. And then I'll show you my prenatals that I take. So I actually switch up a little bit between these two. So the WeNatal prenatal vitamin, and then the Semaine, the daily hormone balance. So I'll switch up between these two and which one I want to take that day. They have very similar ingredients. The Semaine one is hormone-free, vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, non-GMO, made in the U.S. The WeNatal is also made in the U.S., hormone-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, clean ingredients, and optimal nutrition dosages, and it's doctor formulated and allergen-free. So I'm going to take the liver capsules, what am I trying to say? Beef organ capsules, and my WeNatal today. And I already took the Golo, and I already took the glucose bitters. I can probably do another thing of the glucose bitters. I probably will, since I ate pizza and we're about to eat cookies. Normally I don't eat this much junk in this many days in a row. On the weekends we try to do like whatever we want. Throughout the week we try to be really good, but yesterday and today not so great. And I also take a probiotic. I take the Culturelle for women. So I'm going to take those. And I think that these cookies are pretty much ready to be pulled out of the oven. Let me move all of these. Let me move that. And I need to get my sourdough starter off of the oven. Not that it's bad for it. It's getting nice and bubbly. But I think that I can take it out of the... You want to see my sourdough starter? That's the lid. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I'm gonna make a jalapeno cheddar loaf. I might make 2 of those. And then another honey loaf for my brother. Look at that. So I now have 2, and they're both beautiful right now. Oh yeah, these got a little overdone while I was talking to y'all. That's all right. I'll show y'all a clip of those. So now we're gonna put in the stoneware tray, and we'll just go ahead and just do these by themselves while those other ones are still cooling. And then I'm gonna get a cooling rack and plop these on the cooling rack. You see how they spread together? I'm hoping that the ones in the refrigerator, when they go into the oven, they'll be cooler so they won't spread as much. But whereas these were room temperature, so it was already a little bit warm. Although these look fantastic. These are probably going to be a little bit crunchier than normal once they cool all the way. That's all right. Couple little pieces there. All right, and then I'll move this pan up here so that can also cool and I have a place to put the other one. So this is the first tray that came out. That color is gorgeous. I just took a bite of these after I took all my vitamins. And they are so good. They are so good. I kind of like that they're thinner. The salted butter makes a difference. That's why I like using it. The 3rd egg makes a difference. That's why I like using it. I use organic flour, unbleached. So these are the second pan. And I just put in the 3rd pan, and those came directly from the refrigerator. So this is an experiment. We're gonna see how they turn out compared to these ones, which, don't get me wrong, these taste wonderful, but they just spread so much. We will see.